One message. One message from the developers is all it takes to send theorists, more specifically me, to go haywire. You see, my dear viewers, there's something coming to doors soon, something big, and I intend to figure it out prior to its official release. Now, in case you weren't in the loop, it was confirmed by the developers that some type of side quest was coming to the game after the release of Floor 2, similar to the Room sublevel. Obviously, with an announcement like this, the community would try to figure out what the side quest could be, and so I think it is my turn to throw my hat into the ring. Using some theory crafting as well as a little speculation, I have deduced what I think is a likely set of outcomes for this new side quest, which is coming to the game soon, and in this video you will know everything there is to be learned about it. So with all of that being said, let's begin. Where to start? Well, as I had stated previously, it's likely this side quest would function similarly to the Room sublevel. So that can be our first clue. Now, in case you need a refresher, the rooms are a secret and quite challenging area within the hotel, which can be accessed by going into a hidden room located in room 60, unlocking a gate by pulling a lever in room 61, and then finally using a skeleton key and 2 lockpicks on the entrance door. Now, if the Floor 2 side quest is going to be a secret sublevel like the rooms, which is what it appears to be, we can use aspects of the rooms sublevel to predict how the Floor 2 sublevel would function. Let's start with getting the door open. As I had stated, to open the entrance of the rooms, you need a handful of special items. Now, given how lockpicks and skeleton keys don't spawn in the mines, that only leaves one item with a similar function which could be used to unlock the Floor 2 sublevel entrance, and those are the shears. Shears are a decently rare item which can be encountered in garden rooms, aka sinkholes within Floor 2. They are also guaranteed to spawn in the courtyard, albeit that is a location within the hotel. The shears are essentially a variation of the skeleton key, as they enable players to cut down vines which block shortcuts as well as valuable loot. Much like how skeleton keys and lockpicks are required to open the room's entrance, I would assume that shears would have the same function when it comes to the Floor 2 sublevel entrance. Moving on, let's talk about location. The entrance to the rooms is located at room 60, which is the halfway point of the hotel. Now, normally this wouldn't be an issue, but the problem is that the halfway point of the mines, aka the nest, is a lot more challenging and time-consuming than the halfway point of the hotel, which is the library. So, I don't think it would be in anyone's interest if players had to constantly complete the nest whenever they wanted to attempt the new sublevel a single time. So, how could this problem be fixed? Well, I think that the entrance to the sublevel would be located in the nest. Think about it, not only is the nest absolutely massive, meaning a secret passage to the sublevel's entrance could be easily hidden in it, but parts of it are also overgrown, which would fit with the theming of having to cut vines with shears to open the entrance. There's also how players wouldn't be required to complete this room in order to access the sublevel, which would remove a huge time sink for attempting the side quest. Overall, this would be a win-win situation, so I think it is likely that it would be taken. Now, so far in this video we've talked about just accessing the sublevel, but what would even be in it? Well, I actually have 2 theories. My first theory, which is the likelier of the two, is that this sublevel would be a completely overgrown cavern, resembling the sinkhole rooms rarely encountered throughout the game. Not only would this fit with the vines and shears theme discussed earlier, but it would also fit with how nature and vegetation seem to be really important to the lore. If you're confused about that, I've made 2 videos going over it, so I'd recommend you watch those for a deeper understanding. All you need to know is that it's likely this sublevel would be completely covered in vegetation, and that entities like Snare and possibly the Big Vine would also be present here. Moving on, my other theory is less likely, but I could see it still working out. Essentially, we know based on how this giant pit is in the first room of the mines, that the caverns we are in extend way deeper than what is seen in-game. So it is possible that in this sublevel we would explore these deeper parts of the mine shaft. If this does happen to be the case, I theorize that the sublevel would resemble that of the stereotypical underworld. Everything is red, fiery, and covered in lava. That could also mean demonic entities that are stronger than anything we've faced before could be waiting down there, which is pretty terrifying to think about. Although this theory is more based on conjecture, and there really isn't much evidence to support it, I just thought it was cool. Now, as to items and entities present within this new subfloor, we could use what is present in the rooms to predict what it will be like. If you recall, the rooms is home to some of the most powerful items within the game, such as the Shake Light, which is practically an infinite light source. Although, getting these items is not without risk, as some of the most dangerous entities also lurk in this area, such as A90, which requires your reaction speed to be on point. Now, given how the rooms already has a high-risk, high-reward gimmick as I just discussed, I doubt the new subfloor would be the same to avoid repetition. However, given that the rooms and the back door, both being the only subfloors currently in the game, have decently powerful items and entities, it can be assumed that this subfloor has the same. So, to summarize everything we can assume about this new side quest, it is likely going to be a somewhat challenging subfloor with a secret entrance hidden in the nest that can only be accessed by opening it with a pair of shears. As to what the sublevel would be themed around, it could be an overgrown cavern or an underworld-type cave system. At least that's what I theorize. Anyways, that was the entire video. We still don't know a lot about this secret side quest, but that was all the information I was able to gather. Let me know in the comments what you think, and with all of that being said, thank you all for watching and I hope you enjoy.